We'll be right back. Stay tuned for more People Power Lunch Hour.
Okay.
3. Welcome back to the People Power Lunch Hour show here at Philly Cam. I'm your host, Vanessa Maria Graber. On today's show, I am really excited to feature other women who are here in Philadelphia, empowering women, doing really great work. They're with the National Association of Black Female Executives in Music and Entertainment. I'm joined by my left to Shirley Lights. She is the, do you say NABFME?
NABFEM.
NABFEM network leader here in Philadelphia. She's a singer-songwriter and recording artist who is now helping other women in the entertainment industry. And I'm also joined by NABFEM treasurer here in Philadelphia, Sabrina Thigpen. Thank you for coming to the show.
Thanks for having us.
So can you tell us a little bit about your organization? I'm going to read the mission first, but maybe talk about what are some of the things that you do in this organization, and what some of the benefits are for people who join and become a member. Their mission is to raise a profile and increase awareness of women of color in the music and entertainment industry. They share a common goal to learn, educate, and collaborate and deliver meaningful results. And they do their work through areas of service like education, mentorship, networking, sisterhood, and faith through events, programs, and seminars.
Well, basically, I became a member, it's been 1 year now, so December 30th. I was singing at a function, they were honoring Trudy Haynes, and I met Johnny Walker. And she said, wait right there, I want to speak with you. So we spoke. Next thing, I was Philly Network leader. I incorporated 6 women: Sabrina Thigpen, Denise Watson, Denise Wanamaker, Erica Glenn, China White, and did I leave anybody out?
I think that's it.
That's it. And we've come together and we've been mentoring younger folks, trying to get them into the music industry. We've also, we had an Alzheimer's forum. We were giving out information to the community to let people know that there are services out there for you. There are a lot of people that need respite care, Meals on Wheels. So we do a lot of things just to try to keep people involved and let people know that there are services out there for things that you need.
That's
just
wonderful.
To make people aware.
Yeah, and shout out to Trudy Haynes. She's a longtime Philly Cam member, produces her show out of here. She celebrated her 91st birthday, but shows no signs of slowing down. But many women like her are inspiration to us all in terms of breaking barriers and setting milestones for other women in the entertainment industry. How did you get involved in this, Sabrina?
So I've been friends with Shirley prior to becoming a member, and her and I had a discussion. We talked, and she said that I would be really a good member to come aboard. And one of the reasons I decided to join was because I'm always believing into empowering youth. I do a lot of advocacy work in the community of Philadelphia. I'm originally from New York City. I moved here to Philadelphia, and I have always been committed to advocacy. And that's what NABFEM is all about.
Can you tell us about some of the other things that you're involved in?
So I'm involved in many things. Right now, currently, I work with a program working with youth and young adults who have challenges with substance misuse, and trying to support them during their challenges. So that's some of the things. So primarily, it's really just working within the communities and trying to be a tool and provide resources for many members who may not know what direction to go into.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Were there women who were leaders and mentors for you as you were growing up that helped you along the way?
Well, I really didn't have. I really had to find my way. That's why I think it's very important to be able to help younger people find their way. Because I didn't have anybody. I had to do it all on my own. And I also want to let you know that even though it's the NAVFM Philadelphia for entertainment, it's not, we just don't do it for entertainment. It can be medicine, it can be any genre.
So you're just trying to include all types of women
Yes.
working together.
Just
to
empowering
empower
women.
Trying to be an impact in the communities for men and women who may not know what direction to go into. And that can, when we're talking about social issues, it can be a large a range of social problems or concerns in neighborhoods, and we're trying to break some of those barriers.
That's great. What are some of those barriers or challenges that women in particular face who are part of the entertainment industry or broadcasting or music, fields that are typically dominated by men and white men at that?
Well, I'm not in the music and entertainment, but I just think that women in general, they have many barriers, and they really feel less than, whether it's with, of course, substance misuse, whether it's domestic violence, whether it's anything, just working in the working industry. They have challenges, and we know with young folks, most importantly, especially black and brown young girls, just being disempowered and feeling that they don't have the support. And so something that NAVFM is really involved in is to make folks feel and make these young women feel that we're here to support them.
And also, as you can see now, because you look on the television, every time you turn on the television, sexual harassment.
Yeah, the Me Too.
That's a
campaign.
great barrier.
Yeah.
Women, a lot of times they feel like they have to lay on their back, or they've been made to feel like they have to in order to achieve the same type of position or opportunities that are afforded to men.
Yeah, and being exposed to lots of people preying upon them,
Sure.
especially young women with talent and beauty, or just all women. Really, we've discovered it's all women.
Yes.
Right?
Sure.
In all walks of life.
Sure.
What was the reaction of your members like when this started happening? Do you all have discussions about this?
Well, we have a monthly meeting. We get together and we discuss all the issues. And it's nothing that hasn't been going on for generations. It's just as being exposed now.
Right.
And every time you turn around, there's someone new. I'm not even surprised. Who's going to be next? Only thing I can say, wow, welcome to the club. But this is a generation of women now. And I think women are rising and taking their stand.
They're
You're a
reclaiming
woman.
their time.
And to have a
Reclaiming
voice.
Yes, definitely.
Women want to have a voice when they didn't have a voice. We have many discussions, and we talk to not only our group members but women outside of our groups. And you'll talk to them, and you're surprised, but you're not surprised of some of the challenges that they were going through, including rape, including just not feeling that they're on the same level as our male counterparts.
Yeah. Well, it's good that you have a space for women to speak freely and get support with one another, because women, we're not always able to speak so freely at home or with our families. So having a support system, a sisterhood, if you will,
Exactly.
is really empowering.
Yeah.
What are some of the events and things that you all put on for your members and things that happen even in other networks?
Well, right now we're working on a Women Who Jam, and that is a forum for young artists to come and display their stuff. In other words, strut their stuff and put it on display. They might not have had opportunities to perform anywhere live, so that's tentatively set for April.
And is that going to be like a concert that's an extension of the radio show?
It's going to be held. We're trying to lock down a venue, and they can either sing, dance, recite poetry, whatever they do. It's just to give them a platform to strut their stuff.
Yeah, that's great. And are there educational activities, workshops, or training or anything that happens through this organization?
Oh, there are plenty of them, yes. We have workshops and we have people that mentor, give music lessons, voice lessons. We also have a forum called She Got Game. That's for any woman that is into sports and they want to be mentored, whether it's soccer, basketball.
Yeah, and last week was World Radio Day. The theme was sports and radio. And many of the stories that we featured from around the world included the gender bias for female broadcasters and also the way they cover female sports, the lack of coverage for female sports. So, no matter what industry you're in, there's definitely inequalities and sexism that we all face. And so it's nice to know that you all take people from different fields who can also identify with some of these struggles. Are either of you involved in mentoring? Do you have young people that you're currently working with?
Well, I have 5 vocal students, and I give them lessons.
And what are some of the things that they kind of struggle with that they, as they're trying to become professional singers?
A lot of them struggle with performing, how to perform, how to sing, how to use a microphone, how to breathe, and just trying to get them ready to let them know that when they're on the stage, the world is theirs.
And how about for you?
So I have a few mentors, but I don't sing. So that's not something that I can help them with. Unfortunately, I have my NABFEM sisters that all sings, that if I need help there, I can. But I'm working a lot with women who have experienced rape and sexual abuse. So I'm working with a lot of our women surrounded around that.
Dealing with the trauma that comes afterwards.
Layers and layers of trauma. It's so much trauma until it becomes a norm. And so it's just allowing folks to be free to talk their truth and speak their truth. We come from a place where we were not allowed to speak their truth, or whether it's behind being just ashamed or just afraid. We come from a place that we just don't talk about it. So just trying to set an area and a space for folks to just speak freely about what happened to them. And it's not what's wrong with them.
Yeah, just being able to say it out loud
Exactly.
for some people is very empowering.
Sure.
Because they've held on to these secrets for so long.
For so long. And it's generational. You come from a family who you just don't talk about certain things outside of that household. And you believe that, and that's what life is for you. And then you are having so many other challenges, but most of the time it's based on some of your experiences as a youth.
Yeah, and sometimes, being around other people too who have also gone through the same thing as you can be helpful, knowing you're not alone.
Sometimes you don't even, because we all are keeping it a secret, you don't know that the person that you're talking to may have the same experience or shared experiences as you. So until you do start talking, it's one way just to open up. And that's something that we do at NABFEM. We give you that room and that space to share, and we try to support you in whatever pathway you want to go.
So some of the other programs that NABFEM offers are Celebrity Moms. They embrace women who have stood by their famous children through it all and have believed and fostered their children's talents. Yeah, because a lot of times the mothers out there are the rock of the family, the foundation.
Yeah.
Women are responsible for 99% of the economy. If you think, if a man goes to buy a car, who does he ask his wife, do you like this, honey? We're responsible. We make it run. We just haven't been given our right platform to take it, but we're back to reclaim our time.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's interesting that you say that because if you think of all the things in the home, the decorations, the food, the furniture, all of it is, driven by the female heads of household.
Yeah.
The real heads of household.
Yeah, we have a long way to go. In America, we have a long way to go, but I look at other countries where women still aren't even allowed to drive.
Mm-hmm.
So I can imagine the plight that they're experiencing because of the ones that we experience here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just about reclaiming our time and taking a stand and let people know that we're here to stay. We're not going anywhere, and we're going to continue to rise above it all.
I know, that's right. And we would give a shout out to Senator Maxine Waters
That's right.
because she is inspirational to me, especially the way that she presents herself on TV and really speaking the truth and
Sure.
not letting anybody tell her otherwise. And those are the type of role models we need for our young women.
Mm-hmm.
Are there other people like Maxine Waters who are role models or examples to you? I'm sure Miss Johnny Walker is another one.
Oh, she's definitely a role model. She is going through a lot. As a matter of fact, she was vice president of Def Jam.
Mm-hmm.
She helped brand Russell. She helped Russell Simmons with his branding, the whole bit. Then she went to DreamWorks, and now she's an inspiration to me.
And she seems to be able to bring in a lot of people, a good organizer
yeah.
and facilitator.
We're in the process now of planning a summit here in Philadelphia. 2018 is tentatively set for October 3rd to the 7th. So we're looking for sponsors. You have a couple of people you're looking into.
Yeah, so we're opening up the door for sponsors to support us. Of course, we're a nonprofit, so we can use any help that we can get. I'm just piggyback from what Shirley's saying. Not only do we do work, and primarily we want to work with young youth girls, but we also have to talk to our males as well, and try to teach them how to respect our young women. So it goes both ways.
We can be as strong as we want to be, but if the men are still treating us in such a way, then you can only make so much progress.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
And especially in the way that women raise their boys too, because the reality is a lot of women and grandmothers are raising their boys, right? And so it's all part of the cultural shift as well. So another program that you have is College Reps. College Reps keep the network informed of important campus events, activities that can provide visibility. They work in-house as interns or assisting regional networks. So this is really involving college students.
Yes.
And making sure that college students are plugged in with what y'all are doing in the network.
Yes. And also we have a Donna M. Moore Scholarship Fund, and we give that to one person that we think, needs help, whether it be for books or whatever. But we're being very discriminate about who we give it to, because we don't want to just give it to anybody and they just say, go buy the latest iPad. And we found that a couple of times. So we try to follow up with their progress and what they're doing and try to just fulfill a need in their life. Just make their burden a little easier.
And can people apply online on the website for the scholarship?
Yes, they can.
Okay, so this is the Donna M. Moore Scholarship, granted to one entering freshman and one junior or senior majoring in music, broadcasting, communications, or music media related course of study. So, Temple students, people.
That's right.
That's right.
Penn and Drexel, LaSalle, we have a lot of students out there. This is another great resource for them, because college is very expensive.
Yes, it is.
And
Exactly.
a lot of students of color drop out because of the financial barriers. So that's another great thing that you offer. And then there's High Heels in High Places, which I love the name of that. And High Heels represents strong, cutting-edge career women who, through courage, resilience, and wisdom, have helped to redefine the position of women in the workplace and women in music and entertainment. These are women that have made significant career achievements with few mentors or little social support. That's like you.
Yes.
High Heels isn't focused on celebrities or well-known women, but typical career women who represent untypical career advancement. So are those women that you identify within your organization that have made strides kind of on their own?
Well, they are. As a matter of fact, the Big Bold Beautiful conference that's going to be here March 17th, Johnny Walker's going to be here. Then she's going to speak on the panel for High Heels and High Places.
Oh, that's
And
wonderful.
that's sponsored by Radio 1.
Okay.
And she'll be here for that conference. That's going to be at the Convention Center this March 17th.
March 17th.
Great. So if you're just tuning in, you're watching the People Power Lunch Hour show and listening on WPPM and Philly Cam TV. I'm your host, Vanessa Maria Graber. I'm joined by Shirley Lights and Sabrina Thigpen, and they're both members of the organization, the National Association of Black Female Executives in Music and Entertainment, which is a national nonprofit with a Philadelphia network group. And they do a lot of different things to empower women and support one another. So I'm really glad to have Philly representation because there's a lot of different networks. Did the Philly network start when you became the network leader, or had it
No,
been around for a while?
It had been around for a while, which just defunct for whatever reason, I don't know. But we're not just national, we're international. Because now we have NAFM Africa, we have NAFM Toronto. So we're expanding, we're growing.
Yeah, because we live in a global world, right? And as you
Exactly.
mentioned earlier, a lot of the women in other countries are far more disenfranchised than we are. So for us to be in a network together and lift one another up is especially important. So some of the things that
Excuse me.
I saw really highlighted is the importance of networking, right? Going out there to meet other women, make friends with other women, and do business with other women. Can you talk more about the benefits of networking?
It's power in numbers.
That's right.
And to support one another, actually it makes life even easier for us all. And we enjoy meeting other people and we finding out what they're doing and their interests, and sharing visions with other folks. So yeah.
I met an entertainment lawyer from the New York network that I needed an entertainment lawyer. So now she's taking on some work for me.
That's great. So making personal connections, but also doing business,
Exactly.
and probably you're attracting other like-minded people.
In order for you to be resourceful, and that's what we try to be in this network, you have to meet folks. Of course, we don't know everything about everything. And in order to make a strong impact on the community in whole, we have to meet folks who are involved in things that we may not be involved in. That's one of the reasons I became a part of NAPFIN. My first question to Shirley and Johnny is, how do I fit in? I don't sing. But
you have some skills, right?
So, and that's
She's
exactly
great.
what they said. They said, your skills is needed in this network as well. And so when we meet men and women, both outside of our network, their skills may be needed to support our skills.
So anybody who maybe has communication, PR, even accounting skills,
Sure, that's right.
like social media.
Everything.
Yeah, because especially for nonprofit organizations, you often have to wear many hats,
Yeah, exactly.
including the job that you're
Right.
supposed to be doing.
You know, and a lot of times people feel like because it says music and entertainment, they have to be into that. But you don't have to be. We need volunteers. We need all kinds of people. And all food services.
Yeah.
It doesn't make a difference what you do. Just be a woman, be interested in networking, and having something to offer, whether it's just your time.
And what would someone do if they wanted to get involved with your organization? Do they come to a monthly meeting?
Well, we have membership drives once a month.
Okay.
And we also have an email address, nabfemphilly3, and they can apply and, we can check them out, see if they qualify.
Okay.
We're not hard to get along with.
And NAPFIN has the great website online as well that you can join online.
So even if you're not in Philly, there are lots of other networks
Exactly.
all over the globe
Yep.
that people can be a part of.
Sure.
Yes.
I think it's like you have to just be supportive of other women. It sounds like that is the one quality that you have to have, wanting to help and empower.
And as women, we should want to be supportive to women. We should not want to tear women down. We should want to bring women up. You know, women have layers and layers of daily things, just stuff that they deal with. And it's really nice to sit in a room with a group of women and just talk and share and just empower each other. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the patriarchy, right? Teaching us to be competitive and be pitted
Yes.
against one another because, you know, if we are divided, then we can't
Exactly.
fight back and
Like you said,
unite.
there's strength in numbers.
Yep.
Yep, that's right. So a couple other programs that you have, Sisters Behind the Seat, which is an empowerment networking seminar series that features top female professionals and entertainment executives who primarily perform behind the scenes. I think that's great because if you know, you might not be exposed to these type of people in your everyday lives, and it's hard to kind of just connect with them randomly on the internet. So if you can, you know, connect with them through a training, a webinar, or workshop, it's a good way to kind of get that knowledge from them and meet them, right, as you said. Okay, well, I'm your host, Vanessa Maria Graber, and we're going to take a short break here on the People Power Lunch Hour Show. When we come back, we'll talk more with Shirley Lights and Sabrina Thigpen. They're from the National Association of Black Female Executives in Music and Entertainment, Philly Network. And we'll talk more about women empowerment. Stay tuned. You're watching the People Power Lunch Hour on Philly Cam TV and listening on WPPM 106.5 FM. Hey, welcome back. You're watching the People Power Lunch Hour show on Philly Cam TV and listening on WPPM 106.5 FM. I'm your host, Vanessa Maria Graber, and I'm joined in the Philly Cam studios today with two wonderful women from the National Association of Black Female Executives in Music and Entertainment, also known as NABFEM. They're an international organization working to empower women in not just the music and entertainment industry, but all industries. And they have a Philadelphia network. And Shirley Lights is the network leader, and Sabrina Thigpen, she is their treasurer. And they've been doing wonderful work here in the city with young women and just other women in general, trying to offer resources, support, and encouragement so that we may be stronger together. So thanks again for joining us on the show. We tried to get Johnny Walker, who is their founder and fearless leader, but as we know here at Philly Cam and the broadcasting, we had some technical difficulties. But she sends her love, and she will be back in Philly next month for some really great activities here. So I wanted to make sure we shout out Miss Miss Walker, who has done a lot to found this organization. I just wanted to read something from the website because she is as a really amazing and inspirational leader. NABFEM was founded in the summer of 1999 by music industry executive Johnny Walker, who had a 30-year entertainment industry career. She held senior positions in radio. Yes, she started out as a country music DJ,
Exactly.
I read, and later became an announcer and program director working in black radio. Then she moved up working with Island Def Jam Music Group and DreamWorks Records. She spent 15 of her career years at Def Jam Recorders, rose all the way up to vice president. So that is really amazing. Following many music and entertainment business
Excuse me.
conferences and events, Walker noted that rarely were there female perspectives featured, nor did the events offer content that provided career support for women. Walker also noted that many prominent entertainment music companies had few women in positions of power. This frustration, coupled with being a woman with aggressive career goals, fueled the concept for NABFEM. It was time for a change, time to create a vehicle that would work to support and increase awareness of women in the entertainment business, raise the profile of people of color, and women of color in particular, and provide opportunities for women to network, learn, empower themselves, and have access to industry leaders. Once the concept for the organization was formalized and the business and marketing plans were developed, Walker recruited several other women representing various disciplines within the music and entertainment industry to become part of the founding board. And then NAMFE, the National Association of Black Female Executives in Music and Entertainment, was born. So that's a great story. Again, it came from her willingness to empower other women, support them, but also recognizing that there is a huge gap for support of women, and also just women in executive positions.
Exactly.
Have you noticed some of that in your own career? Feeling that men were supported differently, perhaps, or not having enough leadership or management that were women.
Well, it goes back to the old saying, it's a man's world.
Mm-hmm.
And they constantly let you know that it is. They make it harder for women in anything.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
And women are so, many women are disempowered. And you have women, I'm just thinking here, I'm sitting here thinking of some women who it appeared was really empowered, like Whitney Houston,
Mm-hmm.
and how disempowered she was prior to leaving us. You have so many women who have put on a persona that they're really strong, but they're not.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I believe that it comes from a space where they can't share and they cannot talk about things, that trauma that they have been through for many years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we look to the stories of Whitney Houston, of course, Tina Turner, who suffered abuse for many years, even Mary J. Blige.
Yes.
Many people were surprised that she was even homeless at one point and penniless, and yet still was out there.
Yes.
Well, it's that double standard.
Yeah.
It's always being enforced.
Well, of course, if we as women speak about it, we are looked upon as being weak. If we cry, we're not allowed to cry. We're not allowed to talk about certain things that may be challenging, so we have to keep it within. And it's always a bad outcome when you have to keep it within.
Mm-hmm.
When a woman is aggressive or assertive, she's difficult. When it's the norm, it's acceptable for a man.
That's very true. If you are somebody who is decisive, who knows what they want, who is very clear in how to delegate, manage people, and take charge.
You're bossy.
Yeah, people call you bossy. They think that there's something wrong with you.
You talk too much.
Yeah, or that even you're trying to act like a man.
Stay in your place.
Right, right.
Yeah, they call you the B word,
Right.
you know, and they insult you. And yet you're right. When men do this, they're rewarded for this.
Yes.
You know, type of, and they call it leadership.
Sure.
Yes.
Yep.
And when women do it, they're often penalized, you
Mhm.
know, and they're not given those promotions. Then they're excluded from meetings. I think that's a thing that happens a lot, is that men will meet without them
Of course.
and make decisions behind closed doors.
Yep.
Which is like not illegal, right? Like you can't like sue somebody for that kind of like discrimination, but it's something that happens a lot, is just not being included in decision making, and especially in the household, right?
And in many cases, we as women, when that happens to us, it will definitely disempower us, because of course you have to make a conscious decision whether you speak up and lose your job maybe, or not included in something, or you just be quiet and just get along for the get along, you know.
Well, that's submissive, right?
Yeah.
Submission.
Yeah.
Not, you know, causing trouble, not rocking the boat.
Exactly.
But the women who do that are the ones that actually make history, right?
Women just aren't taking the back seat anymore. We're taking our rightful places where we belong, and a lot of us are taking the consequences of being scorned or saying, well, you're not supposed to do this. Okay, well, you think I act like a man? Good. I'm going to be a good man, but I'm going for this position.
Exactly.
You know, you just have to, you can't worry about that kind of stuff anymore. You just have to do what God calls you to be and just pursue it.
I sense some kind of optimism in you in looking to the future, in terms of like this is a new era, right? Like women aren't taking this anymore.
I just don't think that there's no such thing as can't. You have obstacles, and you just have to keep going, and you just try to overcome your obstacles one by one. And you have to believe in what you're doing, and eventually you'll get to where you need to go. And people will believe in you, and you'll find the right resources to find your goal.
That's good advice for young women, you know, like you have to anticipate all the bumps in the road, but you got to keep, you know, marching forward.
Nothing comes easy.
Right.
Yes, that is very true.
And a lot of
true.
times you find a lot of opposition. Your people say, well, you shouldn't do this, or you can't do this. Who says?
And we have to stop working out of fear.
Yes.
Many of it is just being fearful.
And also being taught that you can't do certain things, especially in like the technical field.
Sure.
Like in the music industry and even in radio and broadcasting, men are sometimes surprised that women can operate the boards and connect the cables and know how to engineer and stuff. And they even say strange things when they'll ask for the man whose job it is to do this. And when a woman steps forward like, oh no, that's me, there's often like a doubt, or you know.
Yeah.
And it's really ridiculous, because we're just as capable as anybody to be able to perform all of those same types of jobs. It's just that we don't train young girls to go into those fields and to even teach them that is girly too, right? Just as girly as being a nurse or a teacher, right?
Sure.
Going into these like technical behind the scenes industries.
Yeah, I just did a recording, and it was engineered by a woman, Helen Bruner. She was great. She mixed it. She ran the board. I know guys look at her like, well, she's not capable. She's capable.
And it's exciting when you go in the studio and you see a woman back there,
Yes.
right?
And knowing what she's doing.
And you're like, wow, that's great. I want more of that.
And that's one of our goals, is to empower more young girls to feel that same way, that they can do anything if they put their minds to it.
I think there's a lot of women, like in terms of talent, you know, actresses and journalists and singers, but not as many behind the scenes, you know, who are doing the producing and having high positions at the record labels and the radio stations. So we need to open those doors for them as well.
And there, many of our young girls are not exposed to that. It's not that they don't want to do it. You know, if you don't know about it, you just don't think about it.
And it all goes back to, the stereotypes. You know, you're a woman, you shouldn't do this. you're supposed to do this. Okay, well, if that's the case, why do men cook? Why do they become chefs? See, it's a double standard. That's what I'm saying. It goes back to that. If a man is a chef, oh, he's great. But a woman's job was to stay in the kitchen. If she becomes a chef, it's like, oh, well, she's supposed to be able to do that. We're stepping out into things that are so-called, quote-unquote, men's positions. But women are just as qualified, if not more so, than some of these men.
And that's we're going back to building the relationships and networking outside. When we meet women who hold those positions, behind the scene positions, we can better expose our youth to that because they can actually see it. We can talk about it all the time, but if they don't see it, it's not a connection. So our NAPFIN is one of the goals is to do more exposure to our youth.
We all need to connect with the Women in Media nonprofit because it shares a lot of the same goals, and it brings together a lot of women working in media industry who have achieved success.
Yes.
And just having that image reflected back at you, is motivating. Like, oh, okay, they climbed up the ladder, so can I. And they now have lessons learned that they can share with me to make it easier for me. And that's like really the goal, right? To make it easier for the next generation.
Exactly.
Yep.
Each one teach one.
Yes.
And if you can actually see it, then you can say it can be done. It becomes their reality.
So next month is Women's Month. And we'll be celebrating International Women's Day here at Philly Camp and on People Power at Lunch Hour. What are some of the things you look forward to this year through NABFEM or for your own personal work that you're doing?
So we have some, we sit at every month in our monthly groups and we can come up, foster a whole, a lot of ideas. But it's one of the goals that we discussed last month was being more involved with the school systems, whether it's the public school system, which is sometimes really hard to get in, or even some of the charter schools, but another way to connect with our youth. That's one of the goals, is to do more connection on a more larger scale with youth. To let folks know more about NABFIN, especially NABFIN Philadelphia, because we're here. So NABFIN Philly, we want to expose and let folks know that we're here, and we're here to stay. We're here to stay. We're here to stay.
And how about for you? Are you still singing and performing?
Yes, I am. As a matter of fact, I just released a record.
A wonderful
last
record.
month.
Yeah.
At a CD release party downtown at what was the name of that club? Musai, 12th and Walnut. And so in between my touring, I'm still trying to mentor youth. I'm trying to set up a day where I can take a group of females to Breed Studios to see Helen Bruner and Terry Jones at work behind the board, to give them some encouragement to see, like, oh my God, female engineers that are really doing it. They're part of the Grammy board and they're just making a headway in this music industry. And a lot of girls, they think, well, I can sing. There are other things you can do in the entertainment industry. How about engineering? This generation now, they're so techy. They can probably become some of the greatest engineers around.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
We've trained women here at Philly Cam in their 70s, to operate the boards at our radio station
Really?
and host shows. Yeah, because we believe in empowering everybody.
Sure.
Whether you're retired
Of course.
or you're in college, or we've even had youth radio. That's the community part of what we do here, is not letting the technology or access to the platforms be a barrier. And so it seems like you share a lot of the same, core values that we do in terms of, demystifying these industries and letting people know that there is a path to access them.
It's just the connection. It's just connecting with the right folks who care about the community like we do. And so it's more of a connection, networking, collaborating. just being there.
And we're really excited about our Women Who Jam that's coming up
Yeah.
in April. I'm looking forward to the young women that are going to instruct their stuff and let us see what they have to offer.
I'd like to talk more about that for a second. Women Who Jam exists in 3 mediums: a live showcase, which is what you're talking about. Here, it's gonna be here in Philly, right?
Yes.
Wonderful. A radio show and a CD. So first, it's a popular all-female driven national performance showcase presented in theaters, lounges, clubs, and schools. And it's a promotional outlet for them, gathering place and performance platforms for groundbreaking female musicians and entertainment. And then there's a radio show too, which I think Johnny is affiliated with, the Women Who Jam radio show, which is based in Memphis and Dallas. And so people can listen to it online at Soundcheck Radio every Wednesday evening at 9 p.m. And then there's another show, The Heartbreak of Women in Music, featuring tunes from popular female artists while providing a gateway to exposure for many new and emerging female artists. So you can go to womenwhojam.com to learn more about that. Last night we had one of our youngest DJs go on the air. She just graduated from college. Her name's Sybil Celeste. And she went on the air with her radio show for the first time. And she played mostly all female music. And she talked about being single, how being single on Valentine's Day was a good thing. And I just loved her energy and advice for other young women. And I was just so glad that we have that voice represented at our station. And that, you know, a lot of these DJs, even women sometimes, will play mostly male music, you know? And it bothers me sometimes because because I'm a female, right? And I'll say, I've been hearing guys saying for the past hour, can you put in some female voices? And it's really hard for the men to do that. So that's why it's important to have the women DJs and women being on the air representing for other women.
Yeah.
So make sure to check her show out Tuesdays at 8 p.m. So I want you all to give out the information one more time of the website, how people can join, and also the summit that you all are going to put on as well.
The summit is tentatively scheduled for October 3rd to the 7th here in Philadelphia. The website for our network is
NABFemPhilly3.com or .org?
.com.
Okay. And you can also Google the National Association of Black Female Executives in Music and Entertainment. All of this information we got online from their website. There's just a wealth of stuff on there. The history, the members, all of the different network locations, and all the programs that they offer, in addition to inspiring words from the other members of the organization. There's over 2,500 members all over the planet. Many of them are based in the United States, but we have a Philly network as well. And so you don't have to be involved in the music or entertainment industry to join or get involved. You simply have to have a heart and want to help other women and offer some skills. And during their monthly membership drive, you can complete an application and get involved with them and come to their monthly meetings.
Sure.
Is there anything else you want to add before we wrap up in terms of how people can connect with y'all?
Well, Shirley gave the website, and that's probably the best way to connect with us. We are definitely looking for new members to join the board. Again, it's power in numbers, so we need more numbers. And yeah, so we're really open to meet folks that want to join NABFem.
Okay. So thank you so much. I've been speaking with Shirley Lights here and Sabrina Thigpen, and they work with the National Association of Black Female Executives in Music and Entertainment. They lead the Philly network. So if you'd like more information, make sure you check out their website. we'll share that info on our Philly Cam Facebook page. If you've enjoyed this show and you want to watch it and share it, you can find it on our website, phillycam.org. If you go to our on-demand section, you can also go to our YouTube channel where we post all of our People Power Lunch Hour shows. We'll be back next week with an all-new episode. Make sure you stay tuned with us every Wednesday from 12 to 1 p.m. If you're interested in making media, hosting your own TV show or radio show, like to learn more about media production, especially if you're a woman and a woman of color, we welcome you to Philly Cam. You can attend a free info session and take classes here. All of that information is online at our website at phillycam.org. And you can watch on our TV channels on Comcast 66, 966, and 967, and Verizon 29 and 30, or listen on WPPM LP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. All right, I'm Vanessa Maria Graber saying goodbye. Thank you for watching and listening to the People Power Lunch Hour Show.